Uh, mana pergi pen ni? Alright, so we continue on with our lecture. Now, as mentioned before, right, basically, when you want to increase the economy, okay, of a country, the central bank can actually reduce the interest rate. Okay, it's actually an inverse effect. You want to increase the economy, reduce the interest rate. You want to slow, okay, the economy, you increase the interest rate. Okay, and then the question is that why you want to reduce or to make it slower? Right, the economy is better to be. You have a very good economic growth, right? For example, these few months, the Central Bank of Malaysia has increased the OPR to 0.5, right, or 50 basis point. I actually shared you an article, right, about the Central Bank of Malaysia has increased the OPR. And I also have commented about the effect of OPR to the stock market in my Facebook and also in YouTube. Okay, what will be the effect when the central bank increase the OPR? The effect to stock market will be decreasing. Okay, it will be lower. The share price will be lower because the cost of doing business, as I mentioned before, will be higher when you have a higher interest rate, right? When the cost is higher, right, you still have the same revenue or maybe lesser revenue because the consumer has not been spending, right? Because the money supply has been reduced. So what happened to the bottom figure? Okay, bottom figure is a net profit or net loss, right? The bottom figure will be lower. So when you have a lower bottom figure, what will happen to the stock price? It will be lower. So the effect is actually, it will not be having a direct effect. For example, you increase the interest rate, tomorrow it will be down. No. In long term, for example, in 1 year, okay, you can see that the price will be decreasing. Right. So that is the interest rate risk effect to the stock market. It's also the same thing, the interest rate effect to the overall economy, right? The overall economy. So that's why nowadays, when the Federal Reserve, for example, the US Central Bank, want to increase the interest rate or decrease the interest rate, everybody is also watching. Everybody is also affected. Okay? Because the market is more like a very big market now. So you can buy, okay, for example, a financial asset in the US, or anybody in the US can buy the stock market in Malaysia, because the market is like there is no boundary, right? You can always trade in other country in cross-border, what we call it, arrangement. All right. So now let's look at the interest rate and net worth. Okay. Now, when we talk about interest rate, you understand that whenever you borrow money, okay, from bank, conventional bank especially, you are being charged by interest. And what is actually net worth? Net worth, okay, now I like to go to the basic individual. Net worth is whenever, because last time, remember when I was called for an interview by RTM, okay, your class, right? Yes. But I also, have I actually been in your class before this? You have another class with me, right? Yes. That was for credit management. Yes. I mentioned about this. Have I mentioned about the asset and liability? No. Alright, so basically, when I was called for the interview by RTM Malaysia Biz, they asked me about assets and liabilities. So my answer is simple, because I don't want to make it complicated. So my answer is that asset is something, okay, give you money. Okay, put money in your pocket. So which is normally is the layman term. Okay, anything that put money in your pocket is asset. Right, that is Robert Kiyosaki for the definition of layman term of assets. And then anything that take up money from your pocket is liability. Okay, so now you just imagine your car or your house or whatever. Does those things put money in your pocket, or does it take money from your pocket? Okay, then you know that it's actually an asset or liability. Okay, that is a very simple definition. I know that. Can you actually understand that? Okay, alright, so it's very simple. But my definition, which is I add, okay, to the layman term, is that an asset is actually basically anything that put money in your pocket and also provide pahala to you. Pahala, rewards. Pahala, you know what's pahala? Okay, reward and sin. Sin is the dosa lah, kan? Pahala, rewards. So anything that provide reward is actually an asset. So your sadaqah, your wakaf, your whatever hadiah, okay, zakat is actually considered as an asset also, even though you take out from your pocket and give it to someone else. Okay, because we have two time horizon. One is dunya and the other one is akhirat. So we are not living in the dunya only, we also live in the dunya and also the akhirat. So the definition of assets, okay, is more than just getting money into your pocket. Okay, so must be getting money and also getting pahala. Yeah. Right. But don't answer that question in other lecturers. Exam or whatever. It's only for my exam, okay. I understand. Alright. For other lecturers, you have to follow their definition. Okay. Alright. And for liability is anything that take out money from your pocket and also contribute what? Sins. Okay. Macam mana kalau dosa tu? Tanggung sekali lagi tu kan, buat maksiat pergi apa kan, you menyediakan, you actually provide what call it, a bar, okay, a bar which is providing alcoholic drink, right? Okay, so you are actually providing maksiat things, right? So you are actually getting more sins. The same thing, for example, you buy stocks, okay, for example, Konsep, right? So you are actually becoming the shareholders of Konsep. Konsep is producing alcohol. And what happens when people drink alcohol? So what? Yeah, so you are doing what you call it, whatever. So basically, even though it's actually bringing you money, okay, for example, you buy the stocks, right? Konsep, you buy the stock, and then it's actually giving you return. For example, for you buy 1 ringgit, it comes to 50 ringgit or 20 ringgit, so you already make profit, quite handsome profit. But that profit, even though it's giving money into your pocket, but it does not fit the definition of the pahala and sin just now, right? Okay, so that's the thing lah. So that's differentiates between the assets and liability from my definition and also the Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, I know Robert Kiyosaki is a very good, what I call it, speaker, what I call it, property investor and so on, and also a writer, right? But some of the theory that we can actually accept, some we have to modify. Okay. All right. Now, when we talk about net worth, it's actually asset minus liability. So now let's do some calculation. All right. Just imagine about your asset. How much is your asset? Okay, you calculate everything that will give you money to your pocket, and also calculate all your liabilities, that things that will take money from your pocket. Try to do that. Your assets, whatever you have, your car, your whatever. So which one is bigger, your asset or liability? For example, you have a car, you have a motorcycle, right? Motorcycle. So it's that considered as your liability or asset? Asset. Okay, now let's okay, you say that your car is your asset. Right. Now, do you have to take out money from your pocket or not? Every month? So, if it's taking out your money from your pocket, is it considered as asset liability? So, liability. Unless your car, you use it for Grab car. So, it bring money to your pocket. Now, left alone the pahala and sin first, okay? Because it's not actually, it's quite difficult for you if you say that, oh, I use my car to go to school, that's qualification, so the innamal a'malu binniyat, right? So that's pahala, then it's quite difficult lah. You want to see, okay? So let's just see on the whether it's actually taking out money or, okay, unless it is something which is obvious, which is buying a Carlsberg stock, alright, or buying a Magnum stock, okay, Magnum, or buying what call it Maybank stock, okay, all right. So the question here is that how much is your net worth? How much is your net worth? Asset minus liability. Positive net worth or negative? Negative or positive? Some of you might be negative, some of you might be positive, okay? Some of you might be don't know whether it's actually positive or negative, because don't know whether my asset, I do have asset, oh, I do have liabilities, okay? Right? At least I've made you think, okay, how much is your asset and how much is your liability, right? So some of you might be 100 ringgit asset net worth, which is quite okay, positive. Some of you might be 1 million. Some of you might be 2 million. Some of you might be 1 billion. Right? 1 billion. It's not impossible. Mana tahu, kan? You have some inherit from someone, from your grandfather, right? So nampak relax je kan, tawaduk, rupanya billionaire, right? So some of you might be negative, right? 100, okay lah, bulan depan might be 0. Might be negative 5,000 because you already made loans. You have a loan of maybe education loan. Or maybe you have already 200,000 negative. Okay, probably you're already taking a loan from Along, 200,000, right? Maybe not, okay, but not from here. I don't believe it. It's going to be from here. 200,000 from Along is going to be disaster. Okay, it's going to be disaster, right? Okay, right. So basically, net worth is simply what you call it, asset minus your liability. So what we do here also, okay, this is for organization. We take assets minus liability. So what would be the asset that are sensitive to interest rate? If the bank, for example, okay, both sides, okay, asset and liabilities normally are sensitive to interest rates. Okay, because the bank asset sides are mostly the customers who take loans from them, right? The asset side, because when okay, I'm going back to your personal things. When you buy a house, okay, you take a loan from them, right? Now, if you want to say that Their house is your asset, right? Normally people say that. Or my house is my asset. People will say that, right? But you ask the bank, where do the house, okay, the loan is being put, okay, under asset or liability? The loans that they give us, they put it under asset or liability? Asset. Alright, because we are their what? Debtors. We borrow from them. So when we borrow from them, they become creditors. So they have to put here in the assets. And then we have to pay interest. When pay interest, that's why he said anything that receive money is assets. Right? However, interest is riba, so it's not an asset by Islamic definition. Okay? It's a sin. Sin. It's a sin. Okay? Even though the bank receive interest, that interest is a sin. Do you understand? Kan? This is a sin, dosa. It's like waging war against Allah and Rasul. Okay? Alright, now going back to my question again. Your house, you said it wasn't your asset, but the bank also said their asset. Oh. Where is the double entry? You must have double entry, right? One say asset, the other one must be liability. So your house that you buy on loan from the bank is your liability. It's your liability. You have to pay every month, right? You have to pay if you are using interest, you have to pay interest every month, right? If you are using Islamic banking, you have to pay profit. Change it to profit, okay? You have to pay profit every month. So it's your liability. Then it's correct. If your house is your liability, then your house is also the asset of your in the bank's account. So then one is asset, the other one is liability. You understand? Clear? Alright. So when we do have this, okay, the financial institution also have asset and liabilities. Assets are all the loans that they provide to the customer, and liabilities are all the deposits that they have received from the depositors. Okay, when they receive deposit, okay, that is their liability because they have to pay interest on that. Okay, they have to pay interest because they make money, okay, based on the differences. Okay, interest they receive from borrowings, and interest they have to pay to the depositors, then they have margin. For example, interest they have to pay 3%, interest they receive 10%, right? 10 minus 3, they have 7% margin or spread. Okay, so that's how the business of the bank, because they become financial intermediary. However, the problem is that these assets and liabilities are rate sensitive, interest rate sensitive. If the interest rate goes up, they have to pay more for the depositors. Okay, but they receive more from the borrowers. Right. If interest rate goes down, the same thing. They will receive lesser income, but they also have to pay lesser to the depositor. Because that interest rate which is being imposed by the central bank are the cost of fund, they call it the cost of fund. Cost of fund. Cost of fund, there is cost for you to get the money. Okay, especially on borrowing. Can. Okay, they will not charge you free. Okay, they give you 100, okay, 10% interest, they say. 10% is the cost of fund of you having that money, right? So that is called interest rate, the cost of fund. So when the interest rate is being increased or decreased by the central bank because of monetary policy just now, right? So the cost of fund also will affect the rate sensitive asset and the rate sensitive liability just now, right? And normally we can actually see LIBOR rate, CLIBOR rate, that is actually what we call it the cost of fund. Okay, London Interbank Offer Rate or Kuala Lumpur Interbank Offer Rate. Okay, right. So that is the we call it the cost of fund. You can as an indicator of the base lending rate. Okay, understand? Clear? Right. I know it's a bit technical, right? A bit technical, but this is finance. Okay, this is finance. This is economy. That you need to being able to grasp whatever. Okay, but you need to supplement it by reading the books. Okay, all right. Now, so interest rate change can have severe adverse impact on the net worth. Right? Alright, now central bank monetary policy strategy, basically movement of interest rate, open market operation influence money supply, inflation and interest rate. Now I haven't actually mentioned about inflation, but do you know what is inflation? Okay, you understand a little bit, right? So basically inflation is something that when there is so much money, okay, trying to get what I call it the goods which is not so much, right? So the price of the goods goes up, right? Okay, that's why the central bank want to reduce the interest rate so that we have a lower supply of money. Or not, we will have a very high inflation, right? So what's the purpose of growing, but you have a very high inflation? So that's why they have to control it. So inflation is something like this. Is if you remember last time when you go to your primary school, okay, do you still remember? Okay, you go to your primary school, you remember your friends, okay, you know, just close your eye first, okay, and then you still remember your canteen. You go and walk in your canteen, a small chairs, a very long chairs, right? Then a long table. Then you have a very open, wide, okay, space with counters, right? With your, and then you want, what do you normally buy in your canteen when you are primary school? Nuggets, nasi lemak. Okay, let's say nasi lemak, right? You buy nasi lemak, okay, one plate of nasi lemak costs you how much? 50 cents. Now you go to, if you have your siblings, your little children, not children, sorry, your little, what you call it, brother or sister, try go to the canteen, okay? Have you been there? Okay, ask how much is the price of nasi lemak? How much? 2 ringgit. Now is it the same plate? Same size? No size, no same, no same. Much smaller. Really, much smaller? Okay, so much smaller, but the price has been 2 ringgit. Now, just imagine if you give your sister or brother 50 cents, go and buy nasi lemak. You say to him or her, use this 50 cents for your nasi lemak because you think it's the same price as when you are in primary. Is it okay? What do you think he or she will react? Huh? What? What do you see? What would they say? Huh? Abang beli. Mumbling. They will mumble, okay. What? 50 cents? You want me to buy nasi lemak with 50 cents? Are you crazy? Right. I can get 50 cents for only a curry puff, you see. Okay, right? Curry puff for 50 cents. And you want me to use this 50 cents for nasi lemak and also syrup? Okay, that's how, okay, the price, your money cannot buy the same goods, okay, as time goes by because of inflation. Okay, every year, for example, inflation has increased by 2%. Okay, 2%. Now, if you are in, how old are you when you are, when you are 12, below 12 years old, it was in 70s, right? In the 70s. 2008. Really, 2008? Oh, you are the millennium. How old are you right now? 20 to sweet 22. Okay, sweet 22. So sweet 22 minus 22, so it's about 20. You born in 1996. Okay. So you are in primary school in the 2000. So still millennium. Millennium. You are millennium children. Okay. So 96. Okay. So which is 20 years ago. Okay, 20 years ago. Now you see the differences. Plate of nasi lemak, okay, today and 20 years ago. Okay, the same nasi lemak, maybe the same operator. Are you sure? Same operator. Still Kak Jah lagi. Okay, now you cannot call her Kak Jah lah, Nek Jah. Kan? Alright. So basically, so the movement of interest rate also will affect inflation. Right? Inflation. And also interest rate, and then to slow down the economy. Okay, when we want to put a full stop to the economy growth ni, okay, rate, for example, you want to put a yellow sign, kan? Yellow means stop, kan? Green means go. Traffic light, kan? Yellow means stop. Ni tak yellow. Yellow means ram. Right? That's normally, but people always do like that because normally yellow means stop. Prepare to stop. Right? Not yellow means you push on your pedal. Right? Okay. Right. Then when green, you prepare to go. Okay. So to slow down the economy, okay, so you have to raise interest rate. Okay, using the, what you call it, raising the interest rate. Okay. The same thing to stimulate the economy. You want to say green light, go, right? You have to reduce interest rate. Okay, remember last time when we have a currency crisis, okay, in 1997, the interest rate has gone up until 14%. Now, to what you call it, to stimulate the economy, what happens is that the central bank has to come in and say that you have to reduce the interest rate. Okay, reduce the interest rate so that the economy can prosper. And then only the economy has gone up from 97 to 2000. Okay, 2008 also the another crisis. Okay, after they have reduced the interest rate, then economy is started to climb up. Recently, they have increased interest rate by 0.25 to 0.5. Okay, 3.5 right now. Okay, maximum. But now they are charging 3.25. Okay, the OPR. Okay, overnight policy rate. Right? So basically now they are actually trying to slow down the economy. They say, oh, you are moving too fast. You are moving too fast. You need to slow down a bit, right? So we increase the interest rate. Right. Okay. Now we look at the repricing model. Are we on time? 5:43. Okay. We have to be a bit faster lah. But faster like macam tak ada feel kan. Alright, repricing model. We have actually two models that we are going to discuss, which is repricing model and the other model which is chapter 9. Okay. Okay, repricing model is the traditional model. Very simple, and most of the smaller bank use this. Okay. Repricing or funding gap model based on book value. Now we look at the book value of the banks. Okay, book value is from your balance sheet. Okay, basically we also have to look at whether our net worth is actually positive or negative, also based on our balance sheet. Okay, from our book value. Okay, but you can always use the market value if you want. The same as the bank. They can also use another which is not based on book value, but based on market value. Okay, but now for the purpose of this, we call it subject, could we focus on the book value first, which is the balance sheet itself. So we have assets and liabilities. We have the rate sensitive asset. Okay, rate sensitivity means repricing at current rate, and also the RSA, I call it RSA, is rate sensitive asset, and RSL is rate sensitive liability. Okay, so basically it is an asset or liability that is repriced at or near the current market interest rate. Okay, when within a maturity bucket. Maturity bucket is actually saying that, okay, we have a few buckets. Okay, we have a few buckets. Okay, this bucket below 1 year. This bucket maybe 1 to 2 years. This bucket maybe 3 to 5 years. And then this bucket maybe 5 to 10 years. So you put all your assets and liabilities on this one bucket, this is another bucket, this is another bucket, this is another bucket. Okay? You're just categorizing it because it's very difficult for you to calculate one by one unless it is using technology. Okay? By using it computerized environment and so on, we just say that, okay, if interest rate goes this, what happened to my need? So it will actually calculate it by itself. So it's easier. But because we are using manual, yeah, we are now using manual, so we have to use the buckets lah. So all this asset which is between, for example, loans, okay, within the range of 0 to 1 year, go to this bucket. Then if so we just take the what you call it, the absolute amount. Okay, for example, this below 1 year, we have 2 million loans. So just multiply by the increase. Okay, but if you want to go into detail, you have to find, okay, loan A is only 9 months. Loan B is only, for example, the maturity is only 6 months. So every loan have different maturity. Okay, understand? All right. Now we also look at the refinancing risk, which is risk exposure from the cost of rolling over or reborrowing funds will rise above the return being earned on asset investment. Okay, this is refinancing. Refinancing is basically simple. Now, as individual, for example, you want to refinance your loans. Okay, you have a loan, you want to refinance. Okay, for example, you have a car, and then your car has finished. You have finished paying until 1 more year, which is unsettled. 1 more year, but instead of paying 1 year, you just, okay, probably I want need some cash, you know, right? So you go to the bank and say that I want to refinance it to make it 2 years. So you pay a little bit smaller, but the amount and the time is being taken dragged to 2 years. Okay, previously you're paying, for example, 1,000. Now you're paying 500, but you extend the time to 2 years, right? So you're actually paying more interest, right? Because the term structure of interest rate, right? The longer the maturity, the more interest you pay. Okay? That's why if you want to buy a house that you own, you want to stay inside there, try to go for the shorter maturity. So you pay lesser interest. However, if you buy a house that you are renting out, okay, you want to go for the longest or maximum years, number of years, so that you have a smaller monthly installment. Okay, you have a smaller monthly installment, and your rental, okay, your rental must be greater than the installment. Okay, let's say your installment is 500, rental is 700, then you get 200 extra. 200 only, okay, but that is extra. So that's why you have to go for longer period. But you are actually like doing business with the bank. So the bank have the portion, which is the interest portion, and it's quite a lot. And you only have a little bit, because whenever they calculate the interest portion, they will calculate the interest part heavily. Okay, your principal only small amount being deducted, okay, until the end of your tenure. Okay, you take the portion of interest, a very big amount first, okay, then it will be diminishing. Okay, that's why we call it reducing balance. Remember reducing balance? Reducing balance? Amortization, reducing balance? No. Remember amortization? Haven't? Financial management? Financial management, FM1? No, I need to talk to your lecturers, okay, about this. Okay, and then we have reinvestment risk. Okay, reinvestment risk is a simple one. Risk exposure from the return on fund to be reinvested will fall below the cost of fund. Now, normally, when we have what I call it our return, let's say our interest, that interest should be reinvested. So then you can get the power of compounding. Okay, the power of compounding. You remember compounding factor? So you, for example, you put 100 ringgit today, and then you keep for 1 year at 10% interest. Okay, 10% interest, you'll get 110. Right, 110. But if you take that 100, if you take the 10 ringgit, then your principal is still 100. But instead of taking it out, you put back that 10 ringgit to become your principal plus interest. Right. So the second year, your principal plus interest is 110. So the interest that you receive, interest is not 10 ringgit anymore. It become 11 ringgit and 10 cent. Right. So instead of 10 ringgit, it become 11 ringgit and 10 cent. You add back to your principal. So it become 121 and 10 cent. Get another 10%, it become 12 ringgit and 10 cent interest. Add back to your principal. So that is what we call compounding factor. The money, the interest, okay, is reinvested again. So you will get compounding factor. Understand or not? Cannot understand? Cannot? Do you remember this formula? Present value and future value. You remember present value and future value? So do I have to actually mention it again? Okay, what is the formula for present value? What is the formula for future value? Okay. Okay, very simple. Okay, I'll put it here. Okay, future value, which is the value of your money in the future, is actually, you look at your present value today, right? The money today, which is today, the money you have today, You multiply with what? 1 plus r power of n. Right? Very simple. So that's why I calculate just now from 100. Okay, if you say you put your 100 for 5 years, then you get the future value. This is future value. How do you want to get the present value? Just take this one. Okay. Right. Then it become your present value. Very simple, ma. Very simple, ma. How come cannot, ma? Okay, this is only present value and future value. But we have another one. Present value annuity and future value annuity. This is also important, ma. Why is it important? You don't know? Do you know why is it important, your present value annuity and future value annuity? No, do you do your financial management just for the purpose of passing the exam? That's something that we learn. We need to learn is for a real life, for our real life. Okay, then you get it. You want to make you want to become millionaire? Do you want to become millionaire? Do you want to become a millionaire? No? I want to see whether you really want to become a millionaire. Someone is saying, are you sure I can become a millionaire? Why cannot? Why cannot? Because you have the knowledge, right? You just do it. It's automatic. It's automatic. I've been called once by a student I said, they asked me to actually give a talk about they asked me to give a talk about automatic, how to become jutawan automatic, like that, something like that. Jutawan automatic. And it is possible for everybody to become millionaire. It is possible. It's very simple. It's just art science. Finance is a science. Finance is an art of science. Okay? Semi-science. Finance. So which means that when it's science, you do it. Kalau you do it, if it is get bored, because boring, itu masuk science lah. Right? You do it, something is the same thing and it's the same results. It's science, right? But it has an element of arts. Okay, then the element of economy and because the element of arts. Okay, psychology, emotion, and so on. Right. So do you know how to become a millionaire automatically? You know? Do you want to know? Your future value anything. Future value anything. Come on, you have learned it before, right? You don't know, really. I've never heard about it. Are you doing something? Are you the bomb? Do you the bomb? Who was the bomb? You the bomb. See? It's not an English word. Okay? It's not an English word. It is Timor, right? But the bomb, where is the bomb come from?
means lain.
Okay. Okay. So probably you say, Dr. Adli, kuat lebong eh. No, I'm not actually trying to tell lies. Actually, from your future value entity, you can actually become a millionaire. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can become a millionaire. It's from very simple. If you don't have your financial calculator, you just go to your Google. You ask Mr. Google. Okay. You ask Mr. Google. Okay, then you look at the what I call it, the future value calculator. Okay, future value calculator. So you have this future value calculator. Okay. Now we have to find the future value annuity calculator. Okay, future value annuity calculator. Okay, future value of annuity. Now you want to become a millionaire, right? You want to become a millionaire. So what you need to do? Okay, now let's say, what will be the interest rate? Not right now. Currently is about 5 to 6, right? 5 to 6. We have, if we are looking at the growth rate, okay, we're having a growth rate of 5%. So we just put 4%. Okay, 4%, and then number of periods. Okay, because we let's say you want to put every month. Okay, so if we want to put every month for a number of years, now you are 22, so let's say you want to save about 20 years, right? So you are 42, okay, 42, and see whether you are a millionaire or not. 42, okay, so you have about 20 years multiplied by 12, which is 240, right? 240 n. But this one you have to divide by 12. So how much is divided by 12? 4 divided by 12 is 0.33. Okay. So this is the rate per month. Okay, rate per month. Your present value is, let's say you have you want to put, let's say 1,100 ringgit. Okay, 100 ringgit. Then you just calculate. Okay, your future value is 36,000. Okay, future value is 36,000. Okay, 36,000. Every month you put 100, so not yet a millionaire. How much you have to save? Now let's say 1,000. 365. Okay, no, 1,500. How much? Cannot. What about 3,000? 1. So you keep 3,000 a month, you will become a millionaire when you are 42. See, it's automatic. So what you do, for example, you just deduct your salary, 3,000 ringgit a month. Okay, probably you cannot deduct 3,000 directly. So you try to deduct, for example, okay, 10% first. Then you increase until you get the 3,000. Okay, probably you will not have 20 years. You might have to have maybe 2 or 3 years more. Okay, so this is how you want to become a millionaire. You know the knowledge. You already have the knowledge, but you don't know when to use it. Right? When people ask, you know, you can become a millionaire automatically. Huh? Really, really, really? But you have actually learned it when you are taking financial management. Correct? So it's very simple, okay? Because it's science. Okay, it's science. Science is actually you use multiplication, you use the power, right? So it's all science. So when you use mathematics, so it's gonna be hard science, pure science. Yeah, it's not hard science, but it's actually an art of science, right? Because it involves with habit, it involves with your desire to spend, right? You need to spend, you have desire, and so on. All right, so that's how, okay, you can use your knowledge that you learn from any subjects, okay, about finance, okay, to be at your advantage. Because not many people know about this. Not many people aware about finance. Not many people know how to become automatic millionaire. Not many people knows about how to calculate your cost of fund. Okay, not many people can have the opportunity to become millionaire, such as you guys and me. I'm already a millionaire, right? Okay, but it's not. Life. Sudah, but I'm using the knowledge in finance, right? Knowledge in finance, but okay. Sekejap, dia kena ni. There is several ways of how you want to become. Okay, you can become stock market. In stock market, you become in the property market. You can become in the unit trust, or you can become in the. This is growing slowly. Okay, this is growing slowly, but part by part. This is the slowest method. Slowest method is this. You save in the bank. Very slow. So you have to wait 20 years. Okay, you have to wait 20 years, right? Then only you become. You can become more faster. For example, if you in the property or in the stock market or in various industries, right? But in the stock market, for example, you can become miskin pun cepat juga pun kadang boleh. Right? That's why you have to diversify your risk, right? Stock market high risk, okay, maybe a portion. Okay, property maybe this portion. Okay, bank maybe this portion, right? Unit trust maybe a little portion. Takaful also a little bit portion. So you have already have your different basket. Okay, not all eggs in one basket. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Why? To reduce the risk. Because but you don't have to have too many baskets, right? Then it's going to be haywire. Okay, you have to have one focus basket, one focus. Okay, one focus basket. Then you have the small basket. Is okay, just for play, for what you call it, just for not play, okay, sorry, just for fun, just for fun. Just for the finance, the sake of what you call it, you want to be in the market. Okay. All right. So let's think. Okay. So can we go back to to what we are talking? Okay. You right. Then we put pointer. All right. Now are we still following what I'm trying to actually do right now? Okay. So you have risks on your financial assets. Okay, your assets and liabilities has risk if interest rate move up or down. Okay, so your maturity bucket, as mentioned before, you can have one day all your asset and liabilities that fall within one day, you put one bucket. Then more than 1 to 3 months, you put one bucket. Okay, and then so on. So you want to calculate because it's easier for you to calculate if you put all this in bucket, unless you have to calculate one by one. If you are a banker officer, you have so many accounts. So that's why you just aggregate all this into one bucket. Okay, so that you don't have to calculate one by one individually. Unless it's being done automatically, then it's easy. Okay, so it's better to you to develop a system that can calculate this is the impact of interest rate movement to our bank. Okay, when interest rate goes up by 1%, our asset portfolio will decrease by a certain percent. Right? So it can be done. It can be done. All right. Now, this is example, the repricing gap example. You have this bucket, and this is the assets. Okay, these are the assets, and these are the liabilities. Okay, net worth, okay, basically is asset minus liabilities, right? So if you total the assets and total the liabilities, then you get the net worth of the bank, or net worth of your own net worth, right? Total asset minus total liabilities, so it's net worth. Is it positive or negative? So for this bucket, for one day, you have 20 million asset, then you have 30 million liabilities. So you have negative 10. Okay, negative 10, which is your liabilities is more than your asset. Saying that, the gap. So the cumulative gap is 10 million. Then so on for the second bucket, okay, 30 is your asset, 40 is your liability, still negative 10. But you have a cumulative cumulative gap of 20 million. And it goes on and on until you have finished your 5-year bucket. And amazingly, you have zero gap. Zero cumulative gap, which means that you plus this, plus that, plus this, plus that, plus this, okay, it's already zero. Because asset normally must equal with liabilities. Right? Normally lah, but not necessarily. Okay? Asset, okay, must equal to liabilities plus what? Equities. Okay, so in this case, we don't have equities here. So basically, asset equal liabilities, right? So that's why it's actually zero. Alright? Supposedly, asset must be more than liabilities. Okay? Because this is the formula. So asset must be more than liabilities, then only we get equity. Right? Because that is your net worth. Okay? That is your net worth. Alright. So here, your exposure is this. This is your exposure. Right? Now let's look another example here. Okay, changes in net income. So the risk is that when the interest rate goes up, you have rates RSA, you also have RSL. So, and then you have different, we call it gap just now. Okay? So when there is an increase in interest rate, you also have changes on your net interest income. Right? Okay, so how to calculate is that you take the gap, this gap, multiply with the changes of the rate, okay, equal to RSA minus RSL, okay, with I, which is actually according to the interest rate. But you have to adjust with the rate also. You have to multiply with the rate. So here, RSA minus RSL, so which is negative 10. Rate is 1% rise. So this is the changes. So your net interest income will decrease by 100,000. You understand or not? No? Alright, I'll go back here. Now, this is 30 million liability, right? This is 20 million asset. So when interest rate goes up by 1%, you have to pay more to the liability, right? You receive more 1% from asset, but we don't have to calculate like that. We just take asset minus liability, you get negative 10, correct? So that negative 10, you multiply with the rate increase or decrease. So if the rate increase, that negative 10 have to pay more 100,000 because you have bigger liability, right? Okay, example, your own asset liabilities, your own asset and liabilities. One of your asset is your house. Okay, your house. Recently, Bank Negara increased OPR to 3.5. Okay, so 3.25 to 3.5. So increase OPR. So what happened when the Bank Negara increased OPR? Okay, the bank also will increase their rate because cost of fund has increased. So they definitely will increase the rate. So you will receive a letter from the bank stating that, dear sir, we are pleased to inform you that your installment amount has increased by 100 ringgit from 1,700 to become 1,800 ringgit. Right. We look forward to serve you. Right. So basically, it also increased. So your liabilities, when the rate increase, your liabilities also has increased by 100 ringgit. You have to pay more, right? Because it's increased. However, if your asset, for example, is more, okay, right, more. So if you receive more interest, then it's different. You will receive more money, right? Because the increase of interest. Because this is interest sensitive asset, right? So when interest rate goes up, then you receive more interest. But since we have negative, right? So negative, then we have to pay more interest. All right. So that's how we calculate. So that's why we have negative 100. Changes in the net interest income is that we will have negative 100. So the same thing if we consider the 1 year gap, okay? So the 1 year gap is 15 million. You multiply by 1% increase, then you have 150,000 negative. Okay? Okay, example for rate sensitive liabilities. Now let's look at the rate sensitive liabilities bucketed in the same manner as RSA. Okay. Okay, now let's look at the gap ratio. Okay, RSL just now is the same, eh? So you also bucket with using the below 1 year, 1 day, below 1 year, 3 months, below 1 year, 3 to 5 months, and so 3 to 5 years, and so on, above 5 years. Okay, all right. All right. So gap ratio, okay, is actually when we talk about ratio, what do you know? A over B. Ratio is simple like that. A over B. That's ratio. Or in Bahasa Malaysia we call it nisbah. Something over something. Okay. The idea of ratio is something over something. That's it. Very simple. People say, hey, what is ratio? It's very difficult to understand. Ratio. It's just A over B. Really? Really? Yeah. A over B. Right. So, if net profit margin ratio is actually net profit over sales. Right. Net profit over sales. So, net profit over sales. Really? Like that? Oh, very simple. Return on asset, net income over asset. Simple as that. Wow, I don't know, it's so simple before this. Why I need to like ROA, NPM, why I have to memorize like that? Right. I know some of you did that, right? Betul, ada tak yang buat macam tu? NPM, net profit over sales, lepas tu apa lagi? ROE, net income over equity. Macam biasa dengar kan? From the name, if you understand that ratio is something over something, right? Net profit margin, you know that is actually net profit over something, but you know, because net profit margin is actually for looking at your income and revenue, so net profit over revenue. Kan? So very simple. You don't have to do that. That is something if you understand the concept, it's easy. Right? Understand the concept is easy. So gap ratio is you take what? The cumulative gap over asset. So the cumulative gap, for example, is 15 million, divide by 270 million asset, and it is actually 5.6%. So this is the exposure, the risk, if there is an increase of interest or reduction of interest. 5.6. Okay? 5.6% risk. So it's okay lah. Right. So within 5%. So it's within your tolerance. But if the exposure, for example, is 50%, then you will be worried. Right. Oh, 50%. Right. Okay. Unless you are a risk taker, like me. I'm a risk taker. A big risk taker. Sometimes I risk tolerate. I have a very what do you call it? Okay, no need to explain about it. Okay, maybe next time because we have so many things. Okay, now let's look at example 8.1. Suppose rate rise 1% for RSA and RSLs. Expected annual change in net interest income is the net interest income changes is equal to CGAP, the cumulative gap, okay, multiply with the changes, the rate, okay, changes in rate, then you have 150,000. So this is positive. So change in net interest income is positively related to the change in interest rate. So basically, if you have this, you know the direction of interest is going up, then you will know that you will receive more money, interest, okay? But if you have a negative here, and you have a negative 50 million here, and the interest rate goes up, then you will know that you have to pay more, okay, by 150,000, okay? So you know where is the direction. So this is also depending on your risk exposure. All right, but this is if equal rate change on RSA and RSL. You put 1% RSA, 1% RSL. But it can actually varies. Maybe 1% on RSA, 2% on RSL. So you have to calculate, then you have to weightage it, then you have to find the cumulative gap also. Right? So if the rate is not equal, rate is not the same. Okay. So this is what we call unequal changes in rate. Okay, so RSA rate rise by 1.2, RSL rate rise by 1%. Okay, so here you have to take this RSA multiply by 1.2, that RSL 155 million will multiply by 1%. So total is 310,000. Okay, so this is because the rate are not the same. Okay. So we have weaknesses in our repricing model. Okay. Weaknesses because the first one, it does not use the market value. It's only use the book value. only the accounting value, not the market value. Okay. For example, your asset is stock, for example. But if the stock is already gone up to 5 ringgit, you're still using the 1 ringgit. For example, last time. Okay, so it's actually using the book value. Alright, and that also over aggregative. So just now we look at what you call it, the bucket. So we aggregate everything, right? So we are not looking at the singular exposure, singular loans, singular deposit. We are aggregating it into buckets. This bucket below for 1 day, RSA, RSL. This bucket until 3 months. So you are aggregating it. Okay. Ignore effect and runoff. Okay. Bank continues originate and retire consumer and mortgage loan. So sometimes runoff is something this customer has already finished paying. So we have to take account. So we do not sometimes do that. Okay, and then off balance sheet item are not included. Okay, off balance sheet item are, for example, futures contract. The futures contract are not included in the balance sheet. It is off balance sheet because it is not being done yet. It's in the future, right? Future contract, contract future. Tahu? Okay, right. Chapter 9. So can we just have berapa minit sekarang ni? Berapa jam? 6:25. Okay, can we just have 2 minutes? 2 minutes break, right? For me to drink for a while, and then you can continue on the chapter 9. Okay, chapter 9. I don't think it's going to be a problem for you because you will need to just think about bond valuation. Bond valuation, not James Bond, okay, or not Mark Bond, right? So James Bond or not Mark Bond. You know Mark Bond? Okay, so while waiting, probably I'll put some YouTube for you. No risk. I mean, there is small risk of the government. Cannot pay anything, or the PRS is you, but no risk. It's actually like bank. It's no risk. The risk is very minimum. Okay, the risk is very minimum as compared to. I mean, there are risks, but the risk is low. I mean, I cannot say it's no risk. Okay, the risk is very low because it's just like the same as unit trust, the same as a bank. Because whatever the money that you have, okay, they will invest. Okay, for example, EPF also, they say they will invest your money and then you will get return from the investment. That's why when you put on your EPF or your PRS, okay, that the income is actually compounding. Okay, the risk is lower than you enter directly to the stock market. Okay, because they are managed properly, professionally by fund managers. As compared if you want to invest by yourself, okay, you might having negative return, right? Because the stock that you bought is not really good, right? So it's not performing well, right? So then you have a negative return, okay? But for this unit trust, tabung haji, and so on, they are all properly managed, unless the risk is that they do not manage your money properly. So then is the risk of something else. Yes, if it's under the act, it will still be there. Because the act, it's governed by the act. Okay, for example, Bank Negara is governed by the Central Bank Act. For financial institution, it's governed by the IFSA Act. So it must be governed by the act. Okay, akta. Okay. Can you go back again? ASB and financing. Oh. Okay, like this. For ASB financing, simple. If you can, okay, for that we just put the music first. Okay, if you can actually save money every month, that's better. Okay, for you to do that. But if you want to use financing, okay, if you want to use financing, then you have to find the one which is Islamic. Okay, so the question is that which one is better or what? It's up to you. Okay, you can use financing if you want, because sometimes some people, they are not disciplined to save money by themselves. So they have someone to call, hey, please pay, right? So it's up to you. But my advice is to use the regular saving. Mau berjiran bayangan. Bila aku kaya. Oh. Tak, semangat sikit, semangat. Okay. Tak, dia kira petang kan. Patutnya kena exercise sebenarnya ni. Okay. So, kita dah rehat sekejap tu, okay kan? Okay, boleh sambung balik. Okay kan, semangat kan? Tapi nak kaya kena ada ilmu kena ada kan? You have to get that. Okay, you have to have that. Then only you can become. Alright. This year, are you the guys who will be organizing ISEP?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh? Who is the president? Okay. Alright. So I have my friend. Are you planning to organize a concept? Okay. My friend actually wants to discuss with you guys. Okay. Spring. Okay. Spring. You know spring? Lagu apa? Bukan nanti spring. Ni. Right. Bougainvillea, okay. And then some more, okay. Bougainvillea macam mana lagu dia? I know one song. The song is Sampai Hati. Kan? Macam mana? Yes. Right. Okay, so okay, I have the opportunity for you guys to have them. Okay? To have them to be in your so I'll give you the guitarist from contact number. Okay? My colleague. This is my colleague. My cirian masa time kampung-kampung macam tu. Kan? Tapi dia nak tanya, okay, sana baguslah. That is spring. Oh, okay. Alright, so the opportunity is there. So I'll let you know the number. So then you can either you contact him or he contact you. Okay. Alright, now we continue on the price sensitivity and maturity. Okay, for this one, okay. Okay, for this one, in general, the longer the term to the maturity, the greater the sensitivity to interest rate change. So if you have a longer term, okay, you remember the term structure of interest rate. Okay, the term structure of interest rate. Remember? Bond valuation. Okay, so the longer the period, normally the higher the interest rate. And also the more sensitive to price changes, to the interest changes. Okay, so the longer maturity bond has the greater drop in price. Okay, because the payment is discounted to a greater number of times. Ingat tak bond? Bond. James Bond. Okay, you have bond and sukuk. Sukuk is for the Islamic, bond is for the conventional. Right. So, you remember the calculation of bond? It comprises of the present value and the present value annuity. Remember? Present value and the present value annuity. So this is the one, the present value. One component is present value, another component is present value annuity. So what do you discount? This one you discount the coupon. This one you discount the principal or the future value. Okay? Right. So that's the two things that you when you calculate your coupon and your present value. which is suspend je. Boleh takut je macam ni. Okay. You discount your par value, then also you discount your coupon. Okay, so basically two things here, 1 and 2. That's okay. I don't want to write. Yeah. Huh? No, or we just use this afterwards. Or do you want to? I'll show it to you. If you still remember the formula for one valuation is equal to the price of the one. Okay, so you have your future value, okay, present value interest factor I, K, plus with coupon, present value interest factor annuity I, K. Oh, you don't need to have K there. I, K. Right. Okay, this is using table, financial table. So this part is your coupon and this part is your par value. Okay, because when you buy your bond here, you buy a discount and in the end you will get this 1,000. It's your principal. Okay, so you discount it now. Then you have the bond price now. Normally the bond price is a discount. Okay, but at the end of 10 years, for example, this should be N, I, K, I, N, N. Right? For example, if you hold your bond here, okay, until 10 years, then you receive your principal back. Okay? So bond is actually is a note of debts. Right? Because normally company, if the company cannot issue stocks, they issue bond. If they cannot issue bond, they issue stocks. If they cannot issue anything, then they borrow from bank. Okay, so normally they borrow from bank, then they issue bond, then they issue stock. Stock is much more expensive. Okay, stocks. The cost of issuing stocks, equity, normally is much more expensive. Because what? You have to pay for the dividend, you have to pay for the fees, listing fees and so on, right? So, and then you have to pay for annual dividend and so on, and so there are so many costs. Okay. AGM, right? Every day you have to have AGM. Okay. You can't get AGM kat hotels, right? Okay. You have to call AGM, all the shareholders will come. Okay. Even though you only have 1 unit, you are still the shareholders. So if you want to eat free for the whole year, you buy 365 companies. Okay, but make sure that AGM is being done every month. So, the AGM, for example, okay, 30 companies in January, and then another 30 companies in February. This is another idea I'm thinking about. So I don't have to pay any single cent every year. I will be my lunch will be provided at the hotels, right? So but you have to find good companies lah, or not you makan dekat kedai mamak ada AGM. Right. So buy big companies, they buy only 1 unit or 1 lot, okay? So then you can attend the AGM. Every year they will call the shareholders at the hotels or at the company or buildings, okay? Then they normally they will serve the shareholders with food. So makan free. So 1 year makan free. Right. So you get makan free, you also get dividend. Jadi So if I see you in any day of the AGM, then I know you are using this strategy. Same strategy. No, I'm just joking. Okay, just joking, just kidding. Now, so basically, weighted average time to maturity using the relative present values of cash flows as weight. So basically, we combine the effect of differences in coupon rates and differences in maturity. So based on elasticity of bond prices with respect to interest rate, and also the unit of duration are the years. Now, actually, this is like this, simple, but when I read it, wow, it's so complicated. Right. Okay. So features of duration, we have duration and maturity. Okay, duration increase with maturity of a fixed income asset. Duration and yield. Okay, duration decreases as yield increases, and then also duration and coupon interest, and duration decreases as coupon rate increases. Okay, this is all mathematics. Okay, mathematics. Okay, coupon increase, what happened? So it's all mathematics. Okay, if you understand the theory, now you know why it's actually why duration decrease, coupon increase. Look at the mathematics. Then you know, oh, now I know. Bond price, coupon rate increase, what happened to bond price? Okay, example. Okay, because this is mathematics, right? So coupon increase here. So what happened to bond price? If this increase, what happened there? Mathematics macam mana? This is plus. This plus this. And this increase. Decrease. The bond price will increase. Right. Third. Okay, but look at this one. Coupon. Coupon increase, multiply with this, what happened? Bigger or smaller? This one multiply with this. Because we are talking about the effect of coupon, okay, to the price. But what was the effect of this multiplied to this? When this increase, multiply, for example, this is your PVIA, right? So what happened to this part? Right. So now you know whether it's increase or decrease. Understand? Same as this. If your interest increase here, okay, interest increase from 10% to 20%, what happened to that? Okay, all right. So that's the thing. It's all mathematics. So you need to do when you for example look at this, look at the formula. Okay, all right. Okay, this is duration. Okay, this is duration. Okay, duration is this coupon, the summation of coupon multiply with duration, discount factor multiply with the time. Divide by cash flow times with the discount factor. So equal to present value T multiply with T over summation of present value T. Okay, this is Macaulay duration. This is the formula that we'll be using. So same thing. Finance is all about discounting of present value, future value, future value, that's all. Discounting. Formula almost the same. If you know that, if you masters of your present values and future values, and the annuities also, you can do finance. And normally, when you master this present value, future value, and discounting, you can get A's all in finance. All A's. Because it's science. The answers must be correct. Right. when you do the calculation, correct. Yeah. For example, how much is interest for 1 year? If K is 10, okay, N is 1. So 10% times 100, 110. So 110, right? Unless you mata kero, say 10%, okay, you put 50, right? Okay, all right. So since the price of the bond equal to the sum of the present value of the cash flow, we can state the duration formula another way. Okay, duration is this. You take the summation of the present value, multiply with time over the price. Okay, so then we got the duration. Alright, so this is semi-annual. Then semi-annual you have to multiply with 2 divide by 2. Okay, semi-annual. If it is monthly, multiply by 12 divide by 12. So very easy, right? So if it is 0 coupon bond, so C is 0, coupon is 0, so it must be totally discount, right? If C is 0, this one is 0, so we only this, right? Only this one, because this one is 0, multiply with anything, still 0. So that's why we call it 0 coupon bond, right? Because coupon 0 multiply with your previous, how many PVIF you can, still 0. But anything multiply with 0 is 0. So you're only being left by this side. Okay? So computing duration. So basically, for example, let's say 2 year. Okay, the N is 2. 8% coupon bond. So coupon is 8%. 8% multiplied with 1,000 is the face value, right? So how much? 80 ringgit, right? Okay. Then YTM, yield to maturity of 12%. So coupon are semi-annual. So therefore, each coupon payment is 40. Why 40? 80 divided by 2. Okay, 80 you get by 8% multiplied by 1,000. And then the per period YTM is 12% divided by 2. Right? So you get 6%. So the present value of each cash flow is equal to cash flow divided by 1 plus 0.06 power of T. So T is 2 years. Right? 2 years. So this is how you calculate it. Okay. Okay, so this is year 0.5. This is year 1, 0.5 is 6 months. 6 months. Okay, this is the coupon. Coupon 80 divided by 2. So 40, 40, 40. But this one you have to multiply with 1,000. Okay, plus back. Okay, plus back. Okay, because you are giving 1,000, you want back 1,000. Okay, this is actually a debt, man. So you give 1,000, then you want 1,000 back. This is bond. Okay, bond is debt. Bagi pinjam. Okay, so bagi 1,000 nak balik 1,000. So the 1,000 here, where is the untung? The coupon. Okay, interest tu ialah coupon. Coupon interest. That's why I call it coupon interest. This is the one that they are looking. Okay, the coupon. Okay, right? So this is low risk because normally coupon, the bond is there's no risk. You will get that interest. So kalau yang konvensional haram. Kalau yang sukuk, okay, lain sikit. You gunakan rental. Okay, so you receive rental of 40, 40, 40, 40. This rental, kan? Okay, so it's okay. Rental tak apa, fix. Okay. Then you multiply with the discount rate. Okay, Then you take the weight, multiply with years. Okay, then you get duration is 1.883. So how do you get this weight? Okay, how do you get this weight? Okay, this is the price, kan? This is the price, right? Price is actually you take this, then you add. Okay, add. So you get the price is 930. So discount. Maksud tu discount. The bond is at discount. Because the price is 930. Okay, the price today, but you will receive 1000. Today price is 930. So you untung lah sebab ada discount factor tu. So you akan untung 70. Tapi this tak untung sebab dia ikut discount factor. Right? So the price is 930. You receive 1000 in year 2. Right? In year 2. Plus with coupon every 6 months. Okay, plus with coupon. Okay, at the moment you just pay 930. You give 930, then they give you 1000 in year 2. Okay, faham kan? Interest lah tu. Interest lah. Betul. Bagi 930 kan, kat company. Bond kan. Bond keluarkan satu bond, kertas bond tu 1000. So pada 2 tahun, that bond is 1000. But within 6 months, can you receive 40, 40, 40, 40. Okay, so dua benda you dapat situ. Two things. One is the bond itself. The other one is the coupon. Okay, ada dua yang you dapat kalau you pemegang bond. Okay, alright. But how do you get the weight? Okay, you just take this one, you divide by this, then you get the weight. Okay, 37.73 you divide by the price. Then you get the weight here. So this weight you multiply with the years. Okay, so you have duration of 1.883. Okay, alright. So duration is a measure of interest rate sensitivity or elasticity of a liability or asset. So, or equivalent, okay, we can also look at the changes in price over price divided by the changes of rate, okay, over 1 plus R equal to the negative D. Or equivalently, the changes of price over price equal to the negative D, okay, multiply with the changes of R, rate, divided by 1 plus R, so is equal to modified duration, negative MD, multiply with the changes in rate. Oh, apa benda nak letak lagi? Apa benda yang cakap ni? Ni formula, right? Formula. Sebenarnya if you can actually derive this formula, you can do one by one, you will have this. You will have this. Okay? Okay, you can do one by one. This is normally done by econometrists, economists. They will derive, they do derivation. Because in economy or in finance, okay, in conventional, normally we tend to use derivation, dy over dx, maximization and minimization. Maximization, you know, okay, derivation, pembelajaran, kan, dy dx. Oh, itu pakai pakai. Dy dx tu. Ingat dy dx? Seronok kan? Sehingga menjilat jari. Betul? Seronok buat dy dx? Tak. You belajar dy dx masa bila? When do you learn dy dx? Form 5. And then do you learn again dy dx and so on? When? Business maths. So you like it, right? Okay. Which one is easier? In school or in the university? In school easier. Okay. So basically, to estimate the change in price, we can rewrite this. Okay, we rewrite this. Okay, the changes in price. Okay, this is changes in price if the interest rate change. Changes in price, the interest rate change is actually, we look at negative D. Okay, multiply with changes in rate over 1 plus R, then you multiply with price, equal to the negative modified duration multiply with changes in R multiply with P. So note the linear direction relationship between changes in P and also the negative D. So there is a linear direct relationship. Kalau linear is like this. This is linear. Okay, this is positive, right? Linear. Okay, this is linear also, but this is negative. Okay, alright, linear regression. Okay, what's the time now? Okay, so with that, there is your tutorial here is that Chapter 8, question number 16, 17, 20, and 21, and Chapter 9, question number 3, 4, 5, and 7. So with that, we'll see you next week with your tutorials. Alright, and I see you when I see you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.